Okay, so let's do some booleans. So I have two objects here. They have been added with support loops. So they are also smoothened. They are not in number 3 view, but they are in the actual number 1 or original cage view. So I have the two of them. So I'll just go to select, or I'll just position or select one of them and position it. Let's say I'd like to center cylinder at the X and at the Y, at the Z there. So it's passing through the box. So the next thing that I will do now is I will select the two of them. I'll bring out the Boolean menu, mesh, Booleans, and then I'll click this top. So now it is a floating tab. So while the two of them selected, I'll go to the Boolean operations. I'll choose union. So once I choose union, as you can see, three things happened. First one is the outliner has created the result of the Boolean, which is polysurface 1. That's the first thing. So now, the second thing is, I'll just move this. No, this is the polysurface 1 created. Yeah, just to explain to you further. So as you can see here, this pink object here, this is the Boolean operating right now. Now here, I'll just make this see-through, and you will see that the actual Boolean, the result, has no more, or the meshes are merged together. So the cylinder has no more mesh underneath, and also the box has no more mesh at the top. So those intersecting parts has been merged together as one because it is a union function. Okay, so this is what I will do. I will go to my edit, just making sure duplicate special, and in my settings I will choose reset, so that when I duplicate this, it's going to be just a copy. It's not an instance that affects the others. I'll just close this, and I'll press Ctrl D to duplicate. Now I have polysurface number 2. So what I'll do is I'll rename polysurface number 2 to union. That's it. And then I'll click polysurface 1, and then I'll drag it here. I'll turn off the see-through mode, and this is now your copy, and then this is now your original Boolean result. How do we know? When you click the original Boolean result, you will go to your attributes folder, which is the third one to happen, and you can see here there is the Pro Boolean tab. This one, the copy, will not have a Pro Boolean tab, only the original one. So the next thing to do now is, as you can see, there are other options here. So that means I can also do Booleans in the attributes tab. So let's say this time I want a difference A and B. So I select this. I will just click difference A and B. Or here, I can click and choose difference A and B. There. So I can now press Ctrl D to duplicate this. I'll just double click. Diff A, B. And with that, I will just drag that duplicate here. So I can now select this. This is the original, remember? And now I have still the poly Boolean. And I will change it to difference B and A. But take note, the difference A and B means A is been subtracted to B. So this means cylinder is the A and the cube is the B. Okay? So that's why A has been deducted to B. Sorry. B has been deducted to the letter A. So now, there it is. Next, let's change it. I'll set this, I'll set this here, this time B and A. There. So the box is the B and the A is the cylinder. So because the cylinder is on top. There. I can press Control D. Let's rename that. I'll just copy this name and mix it. So I'll just type in here. Oops. Difference BA. And then I'll just move it here. There. Next, I'll select back to my original Boolean object. I'll go back to the Pro Boolean tab. And then this time, let's choose intersection. So if I choose intersection, I'll just click here, intersection. So the intersection between the box, Control D, rename it intersect, and then I'll just drag it to the side. Next, let's try something different. Let's select this once more, Pro Boolean, and then let's choose slice. So the obvious thing in slice is this. The cylinder is sliced by the box. So that's why you create this line here. Or that's why this line happens here. I can press Control D to duplicate that, and I'll name it slice, and let's see what's the difference of this. I'll just drag it here. So let's see what happens with a slice. I'll just select this, go to polygon selection, and if I move this, so it is sliced still. Oops, I forgot to select the other one, but that's how it is. But the polygons are still whole. Right? You got that. Next, let's go back here. Now I choose the slice. I'll go back to my attributes and in the Pro Boolean. Remember, it is the cylinder that is on top and it is being sliced by the cube. What if we replace it? What if we try to change it? Change the order. I'll just click the cylinder and drag it under, exchange with the cube. So now I will just set this once more to slice. And as you can see, this time it is the cube, being letter A, is being sliced by the cylinder, being the letter B. There, because it's at the bottom of the list. And then I can just Control D, and then I can just type in slice 2. Then I can drag. Now if I go back to my polygon selection and select this, what happens if I drag it? So there's a polygon there. I'm not holding shift or anything. So next, let's turn that off. I'll select this. So next thing is I'll go back to my attributes editor in my Pro Boolean, my Poly Boolean. So this time I'll choose hole punch. I can choose here. Hole punch. Select this. I'll choose hole punch. There. So it removes the intersection and makes it empty. I can Control D on that. Hole. So I'll just drag it here. Next, let me select it again, back to Pro Boolean. Let's say if I am going to do the hole punch this time with the cube at the bottom. I'll select this. I'll choose hole punch. So as you can see there. But we already cut that. Yeah, you cut it, but you did not delete those polygons. So that's what the hole does. Control D. Rename this hole 02. There. Right? Now I'll just select this again. Then let's try cut out. What does the cutout do? There. The cutout does is actually the intersection. Opened up. As you can see here. The intersection opens up. No, polygon is open. So the next thing to do is Control D. I'll just name this cutout. Cut out. Then I'll just move it here. Select this. Now this time, let's go back to Pro Boolean. Let's try. I'll rearrange it again. Cylinder under. There. So it's actually the same. Punch hole and cut out has that effect with our box because it's just being positioned that way. But what if I drag this along this area? Oops, sorry. If I drag this along here, see? So this is going to be the cutout for my box. I can just select this, Control D, cut out. There. Now let's just move it here. And there it is. Diba? So now I'll just select this. Going back to the Pro Boolean. So as you can see, you can interchange the orders of your Pro Boolean. You can change those or you can reorder them. And from here I can close this already and I can change my menus here. So let's say this time here, I'll just split edges. So what happens when you do split edges? So this is Control D. Then let's say split. And then I'll just drag this, but I want to find out. So if I go for my selection, edges, this one. So there's the edge being split out. But what's the difference, right? Let's just move this. So there's still polygon. If I'm going for polygon selection, for example. And then I'll just, let's say, sorry. Let me just select all of it. Oops. Control here. Now I can just shift and drag it to extrude. See? So you can use it with polygons. But that's the split for the cylinder splitting. That's the cylinder splitting the box. But if I select this, I go back to the attributes. I go to the Pro or Poly Boolean. And this time, I switch the order. This time the cube goes under. See the split? I'll go here and split. So the edge, it will still go to the second object. So Control D, let's just type in here split 2. There. So these are your booleans. Keep in mind, booleans are also polygons. And these polygons are editable. Okay? So you can use them in your modeling procedures.